بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Okay, so this is our Religions of the World project, and the religion that we're going to go over is Buddhism, and this is by me, Shuaib, and Ibrahim. So first, we're gonna have a brief overview of Buddhism, and then we're gonna talk about the Nirvana and beliefs, and then after that, we're going to take a look at some of these celebrations, some of the major Buddhist celebrations, and then finally, we're gonna examine some of these sacred areas of Buddhism.
Buddhism. What is Buddhism? Buddhism is a religion founded in India by Siddhartha Gautama and has around 506 million followers. This makes it the fifth most followed religion. The main goal in this religion is to reach nirvana or enlightenment through meditation or spiritual acts.
Okay, so what is nirvana? So nirvana is basically the main goal of the Buddhist religion, and it literally means becoming extinguished in the Sanskrit language. And religiously in Buddhism, it means being free or becoming extinguished of the worldly sufferings. And some of the Buddhist worldly sufferings are, for example, desire, ignorance, and craving for worldly pleasures. And after reaching, Buddhists believe that after reaching nirvana, they will have a transformed mind with qualities such as happiness, freedom of negative mental states such as depression and stress, and they'll have peacefulness and non-reactiveness in their life.
Alright, so here are three jewels of Buddhism. It's basically three items Buddhists take refuge in before starting worship. So the first one of the three jewels is the Buddha, and which is the yellow jewel. And the second one is Dharma, is his teachings, which is the blue jewel. And the third one is Sangha, which is his followers, which is the red jewel.
So next we're gonna talk about some of the Buddhist symbology. So the first symbol is the knot, which is a symbol showing how all things are connected and have no beginning or end. The second symbol is the Dharma wheel, which is a symbol of the Buddhist teaching, which is the Dharma. And then the third symbol is the golden fish, which is a symbol of happiness and freedom. And the last symbol is a lotus, which is a flower, and it represents enlightenment, purity, and spiritual awakening.
Alright, so here we have a video of the life of Siddhartha Gautama.
Gautama was born. He took 7 steps. Because of this, his mom decided to take him to an astrologist who said that he would either be a great king or a religious teacher. Because of this, he was named Siddhartha Gautama, which means he who achieves his goal. Because he was wealthy, problems like poverty, disease, and old age were unknown to him. When he was 29, he saw a dead person, old person, and a sick person while riding around his castle at night. On his fourth and final trip, he saw a religious person whose asceticism inspired him to follow a similar path in search of freedom, the infinite cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. That night, he snuck outside his palace and he sent all of his luxuries back to home. He spent 6 years as an ascetic trying to conquer the worldly needs, like food and relations, by engaging in yogic activities. After a near-death experience, a girl offered him water and rice. He then bathed in rice, which causing him to leave an ascetic state. He then went to Bodh Gaya and went under a tree to meditate, to uncover the truth and defeat a demon named Mara, under a 7-day period, to be named as Buddha, also known as the Enlightened One. Sat there for 7 more weeks, and then he went to teach everything he learned. He gave his first sermon in Sarnath, on the outskirts of a city named Sarnath. He has been said to have done many miracles, but he also claims to not be a prophet nor a god, just a religious teacher. He died at the age of 80 by eating a tainted mushroom or pork. He was surrounded by a large group of his disciples. And the event of this is known as Parinirvana, which means the death of someone who has attained enlightenment during their lifetime and will not be reborn again.
Okay, so there are a lot of celebrations in the Buddhist religion, and the dates and times differ by country and tradition. But the two main celebrations that most countries and most traditions of Buddhists celebrate are Vesak Day and Parinirvana Day.
So here's Vesak Day, and so this celebration happens in early May, and it is said to celebrate the Buddha's life. It is done by releasing lanterns or caged birds in some countries like Nepal and India. So this image shows a Buddhist celebrating Vesak Day by throwing lanterns in the air.
Okay, so next we have Nirvana Day. It takes place on the 15th of February, and Buddhists. This is when Buddhists achieve final nirvana, and it allows Buddhists to think to allows Buddhists the opportunity to think about their own immortality and death. And some Buddhists go on a pilgrimage to Kushinagar to celebrate this. And this is believed by many Buddhists to be the site of the Buddha's death, and it's also the place where the Buddha achieved parinirvana. And when Buddhists go to Kushinagar, they visit the temple and give thanks to Buddha. So, as seen in this image, you can see a person going to the Buddhist statue or the Buddha shrine in Kushinagar and giving offerings and things to the Buddha.
Alright, so here are the sacred areas. Just like how we talked about there are many celebrations, there are many sacred areas as well. And so here's the sacred landscape. So Lumbini is where the Buddha was born, and Bodh Gaya is where he gained enlightenment. Sarnath, where he pronounced his first teachings. Kashinagara, where he died and attained final nirvana. These are the locations. These are located in South Asia.
Uh, the places of worship. The first one is the temple. This place is a building that allows many people to come together and to learn, meditate, celebrate, and to devote and offer devotion. The second one, which is the vihara, is a monastery for monks or nuns who have decided to devote themselves to the Buddhist path. The shrine, or the site of the statue of a statue or image of the Buddha, either within a temple or a vihara alone. The stupa, a burial mound built to house relics of the Buddha or other important Buddhist teacher. The meditation hall. It is essential for growing one's understanding and developing a calm Buddha-like mind, whether at a temple or a vihara. Buddhists require large spaces dedicated to calm and concentration.
As you can see in picture 5, the meditation hall, in the front you can also see a shrine, and this is where Buddhists give offerings to the Buddha. Okay, that's it. Thank you. Any
Jazakallahu
questions?
khairan.
Jazakallah khairan. Any questions?